Welcome back to my channel, where today I have another selection of brand new creepy stories from our subscribers. So let's jump right into it with story number 1. My dad was in the hospital recovering from a serious illness. He was staying in the hospital longer than expected, and he had grown very bored. One evening, my mom and I decided we would surprise him by visiting for the night. We brought over his favorite movies and video games so that he wouldn't be so bored. Then we left him to it. A few hours later, my mom and I were sitting in the car eating fast food when we heard loud banging on the car window. When we looked over, we saw our dad covered in blood standing at the window. Before we could even react, he smashed the window and pulled himself in through it, then proceeded to pull us out of there. My dad explained that he needed our help because there was something in the room with him that was trying to kill him. Of course, we didn't believe him at first, thinking he was just delirious from the fever. But he insisted that we go back and check. As we got closer to the hospital, the sky began to darken and the wind picked up speed. When we finally reached the hospital, the whole place was pitch black. The power must have gone out while we were on our way there. As we walked into the hospital, my dad began to panic. It felt like every single second that we were walking, something was watching us from the shadows, waiting for us to turn around so that it could strike. My dad started running, practically dragging us behind him. We ran into his room where we found the bed cut up into little pieces. All of the blankets and sheets were also ripped into shreds. There was also a large gash carved into the wall next to the bed. We don't know what happened to our dad after that because we never saw him again. The police investigation into his disappearance revealed nothing, and neither did the security footage. The only thing they found was a single bloody footprint that didn't match any of the patients or staff. The next day, the sun was shining, and birds were tweeting, and it was as if nothing had ever happened. And that's story no. 2. I was homesick from school, so my mom stayed home with me. Later that day, she went downstairs to watch TV, while I stayed in bed watching YouTube videos. About halfway through the day, she called out to me from the bottom of the stairs, "What do you want for dinner?" I told her it didn't matter, so she went ahead and made herself dinner. A little while later, she called up the stairs, "Hey sweetie, can you come downstairs for a minute? Need you to take this pizza out to the trash for me." I agreed and stumbled out of bed. As I walked past my bedroom door, I noticed it was slightly open. I wasn't sure if I had left it open or not, but I couldn't remember doing so. I shrugged it off and continued downstairs. After taking the pizza boxes out to the trash cans outside, I came back in and went back to bed. Not long after that, I heard a knock at the front door. Startled, I sat up in bed and listened. My mom called out, "Who's there?" Then she started to walk toward the door. I called out to her, "Mom, are you sure you want to open the door? I just took the trash out." "Maybe it's the pizza delivery guy wanting his boxers back." She called out, "It's okay, I'll be fine." Then she opened the door and I heard her scream. I immediately ran downstairs to find her standing in the entryway holding a baseball bat. I asked her what was wrong, but she just pointed to the empty yard outside. I stepped over the threshold and looked out into the yard, but I didn't see anything. Then I turned back to go back inside when I noticed the doorknob in my hand was cold. I looked at the door. It was completely white and didn't look like it had ever been painted. I screamed for my mom and ran back upstairs. That's when I knew she had opened the door to the other side of our house. That's the side that's been sealed shut since we moved in. Ah! And that's creepy. Stories.